let's look at the prefix list called any route. When I look at the prefix list called any route up here, that looks very interesting. 0, 0, 0, 0 slash 0 less than or equal to 32. Now, what does this mean, folks, right here? This one, 0, 0, 0, 0 slash 0. What does that mean? It means we are looking for an exact match. Why? Because there's no less than or equal to or greater than or equal to. So this exact match is what? The default route. 0, 0, 0, 0 slash 0. That's what that is. But that does not mean it's the same as this one here. Although that looks like the default route, folks, because there is a less than or equal to, it completely changes what we're looking for. Completely changes what we're looking for. Because of the less than or equal to, this is now what? An address and wildcard mask. It's defining a range of routes, a range of addresses. So let's go out to our chart that we have. What is that address? 0, 0, 0, 0 slash 0 less than or equal to 32. Let's walk through it. Is there a GE or LE? Yes, there is. It says LE32. Convert the slash subnet mask to a wildcard mask by subtracting from a mask of all 255s. Let's do it. Let's add that in there. What is the subnet mask? 0, 0, 0, 0. Therefore, the wildcard mask is 255 minus 0, 255 minus 0, 255 minus 0, and 255 minus 0. So it's all 255s, the wildcard mask. It then says find the range of IP addresses matched by the prefix list by adding the wildcard mask to the original address in the prefix list. Let's do it. Just walking through the steps, filling in the blanks. 0, 0, 0, 0. Wildcard mask. 255, 255, 255, 255. And then, what's the ending IP? 0 plus 255 is 255. 255, 255, 255. Here's the range. The range is from 0, 0, 0, 0 to 255, 255, 255, 255. That's the range. That's every single address, every single possible route. That's what that is. Every single address, every single possible route. Let's take it a step further, though, and find out what our subnet mask is. It says the subnet mask is going to be less than or equal to 32. Less than or equal to 32. So let's circle one. It was a permit statement, if you recall. So we're permitting what? What are we permitting? All routes slash addresses. That's what we're permitting. With a subnet mask from 0 to 32. Think about this statement. We are permitting all routes or addresses from 0 with a subnet mask from 0 to 32. What is that? What is that? What's another way to define that, folks? We are essentially saying, permit any. Permit any. That's what that means. That's like going to an access control list and saying, access list 1, permit any. Or access list 100, permit any. That's what we're doing here. So, when we go back to our example, the any route, we named it appropriately. Any route, permit, everything else. 0 less than or equal to 32. So does this route, 192.168.0.0/16, match the prefix list called any route? Yeah, it does. It does because the address falls within the range of 0000 through 255, 255, 255, 255, and the subnet mask is in the range of 0 through 32. So it's a match. So if this was part of a prefix list that's being used for redistribution, what happens? If it doesn't match any other entry, and this is at the very bottom of our access control list, and this is at the very, very bottom of our prefix list, then we'd be permitting that route. When might you want to use this? Think of an example where you deny. You deny this route, this route, this route from being redistributed using prefix lists. Well, there's the implicit deny all any at the end of the prefix list. So now you add this in at the end of the prefix list. It's like saying permit all, permit any. And that's what you're doing. So this is that permit any option when it comes to prefix lists. We know that only default doesn't match. We know because there's no less than or equal to at the end, folks. There's nothing. Meaning we have to match 000/0, and it doesn't match at all. Since we've already gone through and determined what each of these prefix lists are identifying, we can now look at this address down here, or this route, 192.168.50.0/24. Does list 1 match? In this case, it says it's not a match. Well, why is that? Well, remember that list 1, which we see up here, states the range of addresses is 192.168.00 through 192.168.255.255, and the subnet mask must be less than or equal to 20. Well, does 192.168.50.0 fall within the range? Yes, it does. 192.168.50.0 falls within the range of addresses. So that is correct. However, the subnet mask does not match. It says less than or equal to 20. The subnet mask in this case is 24. So we have no match in this particular list. We go down to list number 2. It says match. Now, why is it a match? Well, let's figure that out. If we look at list number 2, it says 192.168.0.0/16 greater than or equal to 18. We know that since there's a greater than or equal to, the address itself and mask are a range of values now. So 192.168.0.0 through 192.168.255.255. Does that fall within the range? 192.168.50.0? Yes, it does. So that matches. Is the subnet mask a match? Well, it states here greater than or equal to 18. Is that greater than or equal to 18? Yes, it is. Therefore, list 2 is definitely a match. What about list number 3? It says it's a no match. Well, list number 3, again, we're looking at the same range, 192.168.0.0 through 192.168.255.255. So we know that that falls within the range. However, the subnet mask range doesn't match. Now we're saying greater than or equal to 18, but less than or equal to 22. We have 24. That's beyond the 22 value. So therefore, no match. If we go down here, the any route. Yeah, remember the any route entry that we created in this case just permits everything. The range is 0000 through 255, 255, 255, 255 with a subnet mask less than or equal to 32. Does that fall within the range? Yes. Does the subnet mask fall within the range? Yes, it does. Therefore, we have our match. And then down at the very bottom, the only default prefix list that we see right here. Is there a less than or equal to? No, there's not. And when there's not a less than or equal to, you immediately look for an exact match. So does 192.168.50.0 match 0000/8? No, doesn't match it at all. Therefore, our result is no match.